a term like more as a all-inclusive term for varying different groups of people. And we have to identify the ones that's us, the good more. It was. And that's the fear of the old system. But it got to go down. The old system has to fall for the new system to rise.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They said they fucking with the live. Doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, it was cracking up. It was. I heard that last good sentence 100% clearly. Before that, it was choppy.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let you drop down, Ellie. I'm gonna take another caller before I go.
All right then. Peace and unity
Thank you for
to
coming
you.
on.
I love you.
I love
For
you
sure.
too. Thank you for coming on. Okay, I'm gonna take. I gotta go. Take one of the brothers in here. See if they let him in. Apparently, they only letting certain people come in on the live because I done accepted several people and haven't put them in. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Unity. How you doing, brother?
What's going on with you? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, discernment. You call me Dub, but I'm up here in Tacoma, Washington.
For sure, far west.
Yeah. But you hit home on something earlier. You made me think, and when the other guy was on talking to you, and he said connect with your tribe, and I had never thought about that as far as the area I was born in, and so I just remember the name Cahokia was always was was a name or that stood out to me as a youngster, and and so I'm like, what can you tell me on that? Because I'm like, I know you that you.
That word is properly pronounced Hayoka. The Hayoka is the priest. For that to be tapping on your door, that would mean that you come from the priest line.
Are you breaking up there? They don't want me to hear this, Rob.
Did you hear any of what I said?
They ain't want me to hear none of that, Rob. I already know how they do. It was like I knew that before you even pulled me up, because it was a surprise that you pulled me up, and I was like, oh, okay, see, that's just Big Mama talking, because my cat came to the door, and then next thing I know I was on with you, and I was like, hey, Big Mama, because I was like, I need to get out there and get some sunlight, So
yeah,
I already know.
I was telling you that word is properly pronounced as Hayoka. And the Hayoka is our way. Those were our high priests. They didn't live in the village with the rest of the people. They lived out. They called him the medicine man. And because he gets so much energy reads, he can't stay in close proximity to a lot of people. Am I describing you?
Hey, you hitting home, cause so I had this and it come to me in a dream, and I end up making it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, copper.
So you really touching me right now.
Yeah, your energy. I can see your energy causing your electronics to malfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you walk barefoot on the dirt?
Yes. Hey, that's one of my things. So my OG, my mom, she ascended on November 1st, right? So I went back to Wisconsin, you know, where everybody is, and they're like, you just gonna walk around here like that with the slides on? And cause I like to wear slides, so I can, if I see some grass, some dirt, some rocks or something, you know, I could ground for a little bit. I'm gonna do it. So you walk around like that all the time, and it's like it's about to snow, and I'm like, well, whatever Big Mama going through, I have to go through too. So hey, it is what it is, you know.
Hey, so you know, then that also activates stuff in your DNA. You know, so yeah, so it's a natural. You a natural. So study all of the spirit information you can get your hands on, especially Vadum.
And how and say the pronunciation again for me. Uh, uh, Hokia.
Say hi yoka. Right? Stop bringing that old dead shit up. Let it die. Going on about your life. Look at the future instead of the past. Motherfuckers make mistakes in life, or else they wouldn't be living their life.
Hey, the next question. That's good. Hey, the next question is, why did black people line up? Why was the 14th Amendment a bucket of grease, and that black people lined up to stick their hand down in and do themselves? So why is the 14th? What's what he's saying is, why was the 14th Amendment used? I think he already broke that down, but go ahead if you want to just give us a short answer on that. Why the 14th Amendment?
The 14th Amendment was instituted to convert sovereign tribes into subjects as citizens. That's all it was. It was to enforce the 3/5 compromise, meaning that you mentally inept and you spiritually inept. You can't be mentally inept and be spiritually aware. You can't be spiritually aware and stay mentally inept. You got to be both at the same time, right? We talk about 3/5 compromise. This is what we're talking about, right? So your awareness come in 5 phases, or your 5 levels of self development, and these is represented by your first 5 chakras, ending at your throat chakra, right? So being able to utilize your throat chakra from the God mind, now you 5/5 realize, because now you exercising what Ryan Karinga wrote about it, called Husia, authoritative utterance, exceptional insight. That means your throat chakra not blocked, your mental acumen is intact, and your spiritual development is in place because you've done the shadow work to purify the ego to facilitate the higher consciousness of the self.
We got another good one. Should you start stocking up water and food for the reset switch over? And how long do you think it's gonna last? Like all the McDonald's and all that gonna go away, like the fast food restaurants and the grocery stores. And go ahead.
So the reset, it's good to have a couple weeks of supplies on hand, because you're gonna need it. Because all of the GMO distributors is gonna be closed while they find out a way to get some new food. All of the GMO foods have to go. All of the bovine growth hormones that they've been feeding to our kids, making girls hit puberty at 6, 7, and 8, and make boys hit puberty at 8, 9, and 10. You know, this stuff has to stop, because they're doing it on purpose and they know what they're doing, right? So it's all of that part of the rituals and practices.
I got another question for you. This from the brother or Deborah. Tracy. Daryl Tracy. Could you decode the Gods of Egypt movie? Where they, when they got Osiris and then they got Set and all them in there, and Set came and killed Osiris, and then they pulled. I don't know if you watched that movie, God of Egypt. You watched that movie, Rod?
Yeah, that's too long to decode the whole movie, and I would have to watch it again so it's fresh in my mind in order to decode it. But it should tell you pretty much what you need to know.
Yeah. The story pretty much is Satuk wanted to he said that his brother was too soft and he was letting niggas slide and he wasn't hard enough on humans and he needed to keep them at a certain level of information so that they can keep hosting them. Because they wanted to be these beings use humans as hosts. These beings, Satuk now.
Right. See, what the human body is an artificial matrix. Remember, Noble Ali say, man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So he's talking about the body's artificial intelligence versus the soul's pure intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Truth and falsehood is strangely mixed. How do you mix it together? The soul got to incarnate into the body, but certain conditions have to be met. Because the body has to vibrate at a certain frequency in order for your higher consciousness to interact with you.
Okay. I got you, Duke. I got you, Duke. Shout out to Brother Duke, man. Okay, let me read it straight up. Elder asks my question. Why illegal immigrants use the 14th Amendment to gain access into North America, which the 14th Amendment was meant for so-called black people. That's how he wanted it asked right there. I kind of butchered this question a little bit, but that's how he wanted it asked. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Okay, so the immigrants, they not even using constitutional amendments to get over here. They're using something called the immigration codes. That's all in the Immigration and Naturalization Services handbook on what they have to do. So before they come over here, they give them a study guide to what to study. Then they give them classes. Some of the countries tell them to set up the businesses in our community because the way that the contract was going, and they was kicking our ass so bad, we'll let anybody come in our communities and set up shop without making them pay taxes. Right? So shit, I'm messing around, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so yeah, they're not using the 14th Amendment. They're using immigration laws to come into the country. And they use immigration laws to get grant money to establish businesses, and they give them a chart that tell them what areas to put their businesses in, depending on what state they settle in. The natives here rock with the Orishas, but they didn't call them Orishas. They had different tribal names for them, but the energies that they was working with was the same. So even when you hear me reading about Anunnakis, Enlil, Enki, because they're not physically present, I have to read them as energy and not as people. But everybody will still understand it as if I'm reading people, when I'm actually reading the energy signature of a bygone era. That's called reading the Akashic record. You there, Elder?
Can you hear me? Oh shit, my bad. Oh damn, I read the question. All right, so now I'm just gonna start reading the questions as they. I was trying to read question after question, rolling down the thing, but now I'm just gonna the person that when your question pop up at the bottom, we're gonna read the ones at the bottom. All right, so somebody Raven Dior question: advice for a up and coming Aboriginal starseed and the teens becoming a great man in chief. Advice for a up-and-coming Aborigines starseed in their teens. All right, so I think what she's saying is Raven Dior is saying give her some advice. Okay.
So study. Don't take sides. Don't believe none of what you read, but read it anyway, so you'll know what they're saying, and develop your own judgment about what you read. Don't let nobody tell you that when you see a word, it don't mean what the fuck the word means, because they'll do that to you. As justification to push a dogma agenda. So as a team, learn to meditate. I would suggest Tai Chi, because you learn to meditate while you're moving, or Qigong. They really good. Also, read everything you get your hands on.
All right, I got the next one. That's rolling the feed. Okay. Hey Duke, I like that. Hey Duke, my partner, man. Hey Duke, he said, so why do they claim 14th Amendment means they have a baby born here? It makes them a citizen. It helps me make sense of this.
The 14th Amendment, because they had a baby here, don't make them a citizen. The baby is the citizen, and they are the caretaker. So they leave them over here to take care of the seed. They don't got nothing to do with the 14th Amendment directly. It's all under immigrations.
Duke said, for the record, can you hear me? Hold on. Man, the hell. All right, say for the hey Duke. You say for the record, she a female. We got you, Duke. We got you. No problem. All right, so we got Muffin Badgers. Muffin Badgers. How would someone who doesn't want to pay child support because of the way the system is set up, how would you get around it?
See, you're trying to get around some shit instead of getting away from some shit. But if you want to get around it, tell them to validate the debt. Anybody that's telling you you owe them something, you got to pay something, there's no debt. They got to show you the debt. How much you owe. Well, they don't know how much you owe, how much you make. We just take this much. It don't work like that. Fair Debt Collection Act say anybody that is trying to bill you or make you pay a debt has to validate the debt upon request. If the debt can't be validated, the debt becomes void on its prima facie, on its face, right? So that's the way to challenge the debt that they're trying to enforce upon you. They turn the courts into a collection agency called Child Protective Services as their enforcers.
Hey, I got a question because people say people need to ask better questions because we got the legendary brother Rod Haynes on going right in on the questions. So I got a question. Okay, so we talked about earlier the mirror effect and the conjure walls that's going on both sides of the field. Now, okay, the pyramids, all they still using in the Georgia Guidestones, they got knocked down. Did that affect some of their alchemy, some of their conjure? Was that part of breaking down some of their conjuring on this side, the breaking down those Guidestones?
The Guidestones was a CIA notice. It was a notice that plot was called the Garden Plot, was the Illuminati's attempt to take world domination by taking over the land of Tahuti. So when they blew up the Guidestones, it just not that it interrupted their conjure, it was just a sign saying, hey, this shit been destroyed now. The shit that was on there, mass murdering people and all that shit is all part of a bygone era now.
All right, another question. We have a lot of brothers out here, and you can talk lightly on this. You don't got to say too much, but it's another question that I got to ask. All right, they call it one name for it is serpentine fire. That's what they call it. I don't know if you're familiar with that term, but it's methamphetamines. What's they call it? Ethanol or whatever they call it now. They call it another name for it now. All right, this stuff, they claim that I heard a brother say from one perspective that they was using it in ancient Kemet to give to the slaves to make them work hard in building the pyramids. I don't know how much of that is true. And then they said Adolf Hitler was using it. So what's your take on that? And then we heard that it passed to the Hell's Angels. Now, what's the alchemical sequence behind the Hell Angels messing with that shit? And your take on it.
Oh, you talk about methamphetamines?
Yeah. Why the Hell's Angels was pumping it, and they came from Vietnam and all that. Like, it's a connection.